This is the ultimate safe shelter. To defend against wild beasts in the jungle, the men used logs found everywhere in the forest to build a solid wooden cabin. The interior space was large enough for one person to live comfortably, and it even had a huge fireplace for constant heating, easily keeping out the freezing cold outside. After being away for a long time, while Sean was walking through the forest, a naturally formed trench caught his attention. This naturally sunken terrain had already outlined the rough shape of a shelter. All that remained was building the roof and front and back walls. To complete it, it greatly reduced the construction process and saved a huge amount of labor and materials. He immediately grabbed his shovel and first cleared a flat open area to serve as the cabin's foundation. Then Sean took tools out of his backpack and began gathering the materials needed nearby, cutting them into uniform lengths. He planned to use these with sections like bricks, stacking them layer by layer to form the cabin walls. After carrying the logs back one by one, he didn't rush to start building. Instead, he dug up some fine soil nearby, added water, and mixed it repeatedly, creating mud with the perfect thickness. He first spread a layer along the foundation edges, then lined up the logs one by one, gradually stacking upward along both slopes, filling the gaps with mud. This not only reinforced the wall structure, but also blocked cold wind from entering, greatly improving insulation. After finishing the rear wall, Sean used the same method to start building the front wall. First, he built a platform at the bottom using logs. Then he cut some flexible branches, binding and weaving them together into a circular frame to serve as the entrance. To match the wall thickness, he carefully made another frame of the exact same size, with one inside and one outside fitting together. They could perfectly embed into the thick wall. Next, he continued along both sides of the doorway to finish building the remaining wall sections until they reached the same height as the back wall, preparing for the roof installation later. After the walls were completed, Sean cut down more branches nearby and started making the cabin door. He first assembled the main frame, then inserted the remaining branches one by one, with layer after layer of reinforcement. A thick, sturdy door finally took shape. With it, he could keep dangers from the wild outside, greatly improving safety and comfort. Considering everyday convenience, Sean decided to build a door hinge mechanism. First, he drove two wooden posts vertically into the slopes on both sides of the wall as supports. Then he placed a log across the top as a beam. Next, he fixed another log to the side of the door frame and carved a notch into the top, together with a crossbeam. It formed a simple pivot hinge. After installing the door panel, it could now open and close smoothly, whether for ventilation or daily entry and exit. It was extremely convenient. After finishing all that, Sean turned around and dug notches into both slopes, hammering in rows of wooden stakes tightly together. Then he laid prepared logs across them, forming a simple single bed. Next came the fireplace. Instead of using a conventional method, he first assembled a rough frame using logs. Then he gathered branches of equal length and fixed them layer by layer along the frame, slowly shaping it into a neat rectangular structure. Next, he covered the surface with a thick layer of clay, sealing all the gaps between the logs. Once dried, the clay became extremely hard. Not only did it strengthen the structure, it also prevented smoke from leaking out. After tidying everything up, Sean carried over more logs and officially began sealing a roof. He arranged the logs tightly side by side, placing them horizontally across the wall tops to form the roof's supporting frame. As for the gaps between the logs, he planned to seal them with moss. These natural materials were easy to find everywhere and provided excellent waterproofing and insulation. After evenly covering the roof surface, it could keep rainwater from leaking inside, while also blocking outside hot and cold air, keeping the cabin warm in winter and cool in summer. And after this finishing touch, the cabin looked even more alive, blending naturally into the surrounding forest. The remaining moss wasn't wasted either. It was spread across the bed as a mattress. At this point, the forest cabin was finally complete. Sean carried his backpack back inside and lit the fireplace in the corner. As smoke slowly drifted into the forest, the temperature inside the cabin gradually rose. After working all day, he began preparing dinner. First, he mixed a bowl of minced meat. Then he used mushrooms as containers, stuffing them with the seasoned meat filling. Finally, he skewered them and slowly roasted them over the coals. Meanwhile, Sean sat by the bed reading letters, enjoying a rare peaceful moment. Before long, a rich aroma filled the entire cabin. One bite revealed a tender, juicy texture, and the taste was absolutely delicious. After finishing his meal, Sean stepped outside and branded a personal mark onto one of the wall posts. Then he returned to bed and spent his very first night there.